Hey parents and kiddos, I was just at my laboratory and I sort of had a little teeny tiny explosion. So I might look a little bit crazy right now. Miss Sierra isn't here right now, so I thought I'd sneak in her kitchen and talk to you about an experiment I'm conducting. Who loves experiments? You do? I do too. Well, I guess I better introduce myself then. I'm Suzy Scientist and I'm a part of the STEAM crew. That's right, yep, you heard me. I'm a scientist and you can be one too. A scientist is a person who seeks to acquire knowledge about the natural world. Guess what? Kids do that naturally because they are still learning and exploring the world around them. All that exploring brings up lots of questions. Do you know which solids dissolve in water and which do not? This is a super fun kitchen chemistry experiment for kids that's totally easy to set up. Learn about solutions, solutes, and solvents through experimenting with water and kitchen ingredients. Chemistry is all about the way different materials are put together and how they are made up, including atoms and molecules. It's also how these materials act under different conditions and go through changes. Chemistry is a base for physics, so you will see an overlap. What you might experiment with in chemistry: classically, we think of a mad scientist with bubbling beakers, and yes, there are reactions between common acids and bases to enjoy. Also, chemistry involves matters, changes, solutions, and the list goes on and on. The scientific method is a process or a method of research. A problem is identified, information about the problem is gathered, a hypothesis or a question is formulated from the information, and the hypothesis is put to test with an experiment to prove or disapprove its validity. For young children, it's an easy adaptation. You can ask them what they think will happen, what is happening, what actually happened compared to what they thought would happen. So I made a quick data sheet where I can write down my research. The ingredients are listed, a column for the predictions, and whether or not it worked. With this experiment, go over some simple vocabulary, including a solute, which is the material to be dissolved in the solvent, which is the liquid used to test the solute. In our case, the solutes are the materials you'll put in water from your kitchen, and the solvent is the water. Also, don't forget that dissolve means to become part of a liquid. I'm using a teaspoon of flour, sugar, salt, rice, and pepper. What will you find in your kitchen to use? You also need a clear container like a jar, a cup, or even Tupperware. I'm using 5 solutes, so I need 5 containers. And you'll need to put water in them. And you need something to stir with. So make your predictions about what will happen, and then you're ready to experiment. It might seem like you're making a little bit of a mess, but you are actually experimenting with an important concept of chemistry called solutions. By mixing these solids with a liquid, you may or may not create a solution. So, what is a solution? Or you might also hear it called a mixture. A solution is when one substance, which is our solid, is dissolved in another substance, which is the water, with an even consistency. This is called a homogeneous mixture. Well, anyways, I gotta get back to my experiment now, and then I gotta get back to my laboratory before Miss Sierra gets back. Don't forget to conduct your experiment at home too.